So as I mentioned that the Tea Party opened up for Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, and this is when they were doing that tour that had like the Egyptian orchestra and all that. It was like the big wah, right? And so the Tea Party, we opened up for them at the Montreal Forum, and it was the last show of their tour. Now, they had asked for us to be the support act for like more than half of their tour because the Tea Party at that time we had Edges of Twilight out, and all around the world we were getting compared, to like this is like a young Led Zeppelin but exotic, and all that, and so of course Page and Plants are quite curious, right? But because of commitments that we had with the record company and touring already, the only show we could do was the last one. And it was fitting because, like, at that time, Montreal was my home. So, so we do the sets, and we get a standing ovation in the Montreal Forum, right? And apparently, the manager of Page and Plants at the time told us that, like, after our show, like, that never happened on the tour. Like, people mostly just wanted the support bands to get off, right? So that was a big compliment. And then you know Page's guitar tech tells me that well, okay, no, I digress. So I'm on stage and we're performing, and I remember it exactly. We were performing the Bazaar, and it's the second song in the set, and like the band's in full flight, and I look over at Stuart, and on Stuart's side of the stage, like in the wings, is Robert Plant, sipping a cup of tea, watching everything, right? And I'm like, okay, no, fuck, I can handle this. This is all right. I got this. Just concentrate, concentrate. And then I look over at my guitar tech, and there's Jimmy Page in that wing, dancing around like a fucking kid, you know? And I'm like, okay, man, I'm gonna fucking lose it now, right? So, so after our show, Jimmy's guitar tech tells me that Jimmy wants me to stand, in his guitar pits during his show, right? So I'm getting to watch, like my hero of all heroes, right? This is like God playing guitar. And so after their show was done, we're in our dressing room, and we're all just trying to like did all that just happen? And I swear to God, like there's this knock on the door of the dressing room, and the biggest black man that I have ever seen, right, comes up and he's like, "Mr. Martin, right? Mr. Page wants to see you," right? And I'm thinking, oh man, okay, because like in our sets, we did Save Me, and I did the violin bow, like Page used to do with Days Confused, but he didn't do that in his sets, right? But I did it in ours. And I'm thinking, oh, is he gonna reprimand me for doing that? You know. So, anyways, so this biggest black man I've ever seen takes me to Page's dressing room. Page comes bounding out, right, and he's like, "Oh, Jeff, that was fantastic. Like, you guys, you reminded me of a young Zeppelin, and by the way, when you played the violin bow on Save Me, right?" And I'm like, okay, fuck, here it comes. He's like, "How did you get the high strings to work? Because I could never get those," right? And I was like, okay, I can go to bed now. That's all good.